be the Surges, and I attend St. Stephanos Parish in Helston Park. In the beginning, God created the world, the sun, the skies, the oceans, the plants, the animals, and humans. What did God do on the seventh day after creating the whole world? He rested. As humans, we all have a need to relax and experience joy in our lives. Recreation, downtime, laughing, and taking it easy are all necessary for our overall health. God commanded us from His own example in Genesis to rest from work. He filled our earthly world with such beauty that with a simple outing, a walk to the sea, a stroll through a garden, a bushwalk up a mountain, we can enjoy so much. As we try to live close to God, we cannot always be working and serious. Apostle Paul told us to always rejoice. Christ wants us to be happy. Recreation and entertainment can be good if we are mindful of how we enjoy them. There are some types and ways of using our free time which are damaging to us. In the same way that food is essential, it does not mean we eat whatever and whenever. Some foods are healthy and some are not. We all have different ways of entertaining ourselves, of socializing, having fun, and of engaging with social media sites or apps. Some of us may enjoy meeting up with our friends at someone's house, a shopping center, or the cinema. Some of us may prefer to play soccer or footy with our siblings. Some of us may like to read or paint or draw or cook. I think all of us, though, have a lot of exposure and spend a lot of time using the internet. In fact, we're all using it right now to watch this video on YouTube. We all spend a lot of time using the internet in various ways, and this is something very important to get right in our lives from a young age. This is what I will spend some time talking about today. If you talk to your parents, they might tell you that when they had high school assignments, they had to go to the library and find information in an encyclopedia or another book. Our world is very different today. We have highly accessible devices, laptops, computers, phones, and tablets, and we use the internet to find information for our schoolwork, but also to communicate to our friends and family, teachers, colleagues, and perhaps even strangers, as well as to relax and entertain ourselves. What are some of these things? Communication, we use Skype, email, FaceTime, even more so during the COVID lockdown, I know. TV, streaming, perhaps we have Foxtel, Netflix. Socializing and networking, perhaps we use Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Entertainment on TikTok or YouTube, and gaming, Nintendo, FIFA, maybe even Fortnite. In this world with all these things, there are a few noticeable differences in people your age that have grown with the development and increasing use of the internet and social media. 1 in 5 teenagers in Australia today are affected by mental health problems and disorders. Whilst the use of the internet does not cause anxiety and depression by itself, it is not a coincidence that mental health issues have grown in recent years, as has the time we spend on social media and online platforms. You are part of the first generation to have grown up in the online world. People aged between 18 to 24 in Australia have the highest prevalence of mental disorders of any age group. And so you are at the age where you are developing habits regarding your online presence and usage that will affect how you are as an adult. The reality is that there are no definitive conclusions on the long-term effects of using the internet, and so it's extremely important and wise to be careful. So how can we ensure that we can use the internet for good and relax and enjoy ourselves without falling into dangerous territory? We need to be conscious of the platform and the content we are exposed to. There are things that we can expose ourselves to without even realizing it, and it can disturb us, our sleep, and our thoughts. Violent games or movies can be very damaging. If we want to watch or play something, check the classification, check it by your parents, and then if you are caught by surprise by something that you find disturbing, turn it off. Conscious of the people that we are interacting with. I'm sure you're all conscious of avoiding complete strangers on the internet and the fact that anybody can create fake or misleading profiles. But we also need to be mindful of not becoming consumed or even obsessed with who is doing what on social media and constantly looking at photos of different people. This can cause us FOMO, fear of missing out, which we need to be mindful of as it can drive anxiety as well. Conscious of the amount of time we spend. Thank God, all of the devices we use have clocks. If we open our laptop to do some schoolwork, then decide to check Facebook, and then get distracted by YouTube, then we want to see who else is online, maybe we can play a game. This is not achieving our original purpose in opening our laptop. If we see that hours tick by, we need to stop and think about what are we actually doing. It is harder to be disciplined considering what you are able to access, but it will pay off if you plan your time and are mindful of what you are doing, because it will help you develop vital and valuable skills as you go into your 20s and work in difficult jobs, maintain meaningful friendships, and become independent and capable adults. You spend roughly 35 hours a week at school, say 12 hours a week doing school-related activities like homework. You should be spending about 56 hours a week sleeping, around 11 hours eating, hopefully around 7 hours doing chores or necessities, leaving about 47 hours a week essentially free. How can we spend this time? Of course, we want to spend that time doing things we enjoy. But if that involves spending 47 hours a week by ourselves in front of the TV, laptop, phone, or computer, then that is not healthy. Ironically, social media, which promises us greater social connections through likes, shares, and comments, can cause us to sit for hours in front of a screen and can mean we are neglecting our relationships with family and friends. A survey in 2019 showed 44% of people in Australia believe social media has had a negative impact on their close relationships. Just as there are flags at the beach to show where it is safe to swim, we need to put flags up for ourselves in how we use the internet through our phones or computers. We don't need to have the latest version of the iPhone or every single app that our friends have. As we read in 1 Corinthians, let all things be done for edification. That is, let's do things that will help us grow as people, as Christians. It is not entertainment and true socializing if it is causing us or others harm, and if it leads us to sin, whether through jealousy, greed, or selfishness. Let's choose activities that involve others in a friendly and peaceful way, treating all as we would want to be treated, with respect and love. I'm sure you can all think of good examples of this, such as playing music or singing, going for a bushwalk or a bike ride with a friend, cooking a nice dinner for mum one night, playing soccer with friends, watching a movie with your family all together. When we spend our time doing things that allow Christ to be present, that is, that they are centered on love, purity, humility, and kindness, then we find that we truly have fun and enjoy ourselves. Christ said to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves, meaning we need to be cautious and not just allow ourselves to waste time and get lost in the jungle that the internet can be. If we are wise in our choices, we can preserve our souls and fly free from the trappings of the world like a dove.